you would date an over 40-year-old woman, just say yes. Because, you know, at this point, these 18-year-olds are making fun of me by not asking me for my phone number, but for my email instead.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel. We talk relationships, real life, regret, and whatever viral nonsense TikTok cooked up this week. If it's messy, dramatic, or just plain stupid, trust me, we're gonna roast it. We have several videos lined up for you, including one where this guy tells us how his wife filed for divorce and later changed her mind, but he ended up divorcing her. So if you're into raw takes, savage stories, and laughing your way through the madness of modern life, you're home. Hit that sub, grab a snack, and let's get into it.
Is there anyone else out there in their 40s like me who feels kind of invisible? Like, I'm not as cute as I was in my 20s and 30s. I'm definitely not as fit as I was in my 20s and 30s. I don't have as much hair as I used to have. It's literally falling off like the top of my head.
You do become a little more invisible the older you get as a woman, unfortunately. I don't get asked out on a lot of dates. I never get asked out on dates. I don't know if it's being 55 in Los Angeles or if it's just a strange town.
What is the biggest confidence killer for women over 50? Men over 50. They never look at you anymore.
When I was 55, I felt like I was starting to fade. I felt like I was starting to go invisible.
Let's not pretend this came out of nowhere. You guys were on the ride. VIP access for what, 30 years? Life was in premium mode. You walked into a room and it was like Moses parting the Red Sea. Men were diving out of your way to compliment your eyelashes. You'd reject men just for breathing wrong. The attention, endless buffet. And now that the chef packed up and left, you're acting like you guys were robbed. You weren't robbed, you just hit level 1, where you find out men don't give compliments as charity. We're visual creatures and the male gaze runs on youth and beauty, the same way Teslas run on charging stations. You can't plug a Tesla into a life story and expect sparks. Also, when these ladies say they feel invisible, what they really mean is that the men they desire don't reciprocate their feelings. Because I promise you, the 60-year-old security guard at the mall sees you just fine. You're not invisible. You're just no longer being pursued by the guys you used to reject. That's not a superpower disappearing. That's entitlement catching up with time. The wall isn't cruel, it's just honest. And unlike your girlfriends, it doesn't lie to make you feel better. Ladies, you guys are not the show anymore. You're a rerun being shown at 2 a.m. People still watch, but no one's staying up for it.
If you resonate with this and you feel like you're pretty, you've got a good career, but then high value men are just not interested, I'm gonna tell you the truth, okay? You first have to understand that men who are financially viable, they don't care about how much you earn, they don't care about what do you do for work. They also don't really mind if you have kids. That's not a deal breaker for a lot of them. They also don't mind your age. What they care about is finding a woman who is happy and feminine, who is in good shape, who looks significantly younger than her peers around her age, and someone who is fun and pleasant to be around. Remember, men that have money, they don't need your income. That's why they won't care about what you do for work and they don't care about how much you earn. Don't get me wrong, having a great career or multiple degrees are great things to have, but those are not going to give you an advantage when it comes to dating. And the only kind of men that care about what you do for work or how much you earn are the kind of men that need your income to help him pay half of his rent and bills and mortgage. If you resonate with this and you want to learn about how to ditch your masculine shell and become more feminine so you can attract the right kind of man, comment the word masterclass below. I'll send you a link to sign up for my free training, How to Get Princess Treatment. I'll see you in class.
You ever notice how nowadays everyone's a coach? Relationship coach, confidence coach, inner goddess chakra activation specialist. And now we got this lady giving advice to older women and single moms on how to bag a high-value man. Let's unpack this nonsense. Point 1. High-value men don't care about age or kids. Sure, and NBA teams don't care if you're under 5'4" with asthma. Let's be real. High-value men have options, and you think he's picking a 41-year-old with 4 kids over a 25-year-old yoga instructor with no stretch marks and no school drop-offs? Point 2. Only broke men care about your achievements. No ma'am, broke men don't care about your achievements. They care about rent. They'll date a manager at KFC if she's got a working microwave and Wi-Fi. Point 3. DM me for the masterclass on attracting high-value men. It's like a broke man giving you a course on how to become a millionaire. This whole thing is a business model built on delusion. It's a TED Talk for desperate sharmutas. You're not buying coaching, you're buying hope in a PDF.
Are any other women out there just like exclusively approached by creeps and weirdos? For whatever reason, I only publicly attract the kind of man that just like completely lacks social boundaries and says like, and does uncomfortable things to and around me. I hate it. I'd rather not be approached at all, but why is this the specific genre of person that is approaching me? Like, maybe it's a combination of like I'm chubby, medium ugly, and like alternative or weird or what have you. To name an example, I go to a community college. I'm on campus and a man pushing 40 stopped me after a lab while I had a migraine and kept pushing me to get my number. I had another guy trauma dump about his grandfather dying and then just got up and walked away from me when I casually mentioned that I spent the weekend with my boyfriend. I want to know what provokes them to approach me specifically. I don't know.
First of all, ma'am, you're not a human creep magnet by accident. You didn't wake up with a faulty radar for detecting broken men, and you're not a victim of the creep industrial complex. Let's be honest, these dudes aren't all actually creeps. Some are just regular guys. Regular looks, regular jobs, maybe a little awkward but harmless. So when a man who's actually on your level says, hey, you seem cool, you call him a creep, but if that same man were 6'3" and drove a Mercedes, you'd call it mysterious energy. It's simple. You don't find these men creepy, you find them unflattering to your ego. Because deep down, it hurts to realize you're not attracting your dream man, you're attracting the man your current lifestyle, choices, and appearance qualify for.
Ladies, if you want to meet successful single men, you should be going to high-end restaurant or hotel bars. Put on a cute outfit, bring a girlfriend or two, plant yourself at the bar, make small talk with the bartender. Why? Because a lot of men who are on business trips or after hours at work or just with buddies will hang out at these places, and it's a lot easier to approach you if you're at the bar versus if you're at a secluded table.
These guys have been carrying a company on their backs like a mule on LinkedIn, and all they want is peace, maybe a steak, maybe a moment of quiet, but no. Now they are being hunted like a gazelle by women in heels and delusion, thinking the bar is LinkedIn Live.
Okay, I'm about to tell you one sign that a man has low emotional intelligence and you should run away before he drives you insane. Ready for it? He won't admit to sadness or struggle. He'll reflect back on a difficult event and be like, yeah, it didn't bother me. When a man can admit, like, this really hurt me or this was a hard time in my life and doesn't always have to appear so tough or like they shut out their emotions all the time, huge green flag. Those guys that act like nothing ever gets to them, they just suppress it all. And it's not gonna be any different with you.
So apparently, if a man doesn't cry on cue and whisper sweet traumas into your ear like it's a therapy podcast, he has low emotional intelligence. Lady, he's not emotionally stunted, he's just exhausted. He's been through 5 recessions, raised by a father who communicated via grunts and car repair, and now he's being judged because he doesn't talk about his traumas? These same women say, open up to me, I'm a safe space. He opens up once, one time, and 2 arguments later she hits him with, maybe if you fixed your issues with your dad, you'd know how to love. Boom, safe space turned into North Korea. Look, men don't process pain by crying in circles. We process it by getting stuff done, staring into the fridge for no reason, and quietly dying inside while we pay everyone's Wi-Fi bill. So no, he's not emotionally broken, he's emotionally buffering. Give it time. And maybe a sandwich.
One time, after me and my ex-wife separated for like 6 months, I called her up one day, and I was like, hey, do you want to come over and like sit down and actually fill out this paperwork for this divorce? And she was like, yeah, give me a couple minutes, because it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. And then when she was shuffling around, I could hear another man talking in the background, and I could hear them getting out of bed. And I was like, cool, no problem. You know, I'm not upset at this point. It's fine. And then she drove all the way to my house, and then we went to go sit down and fill out the paperwork. And she immediately started crying. And when I asked what was wrong, she simply told me that she wasn't ready for a divorce. My response was, why are you crying? I thought you were ready for this when you left. Because that's math. And 2 + 2 = 4.
This is a classic case of modern marriages. So she files for divorce to start a new chapter with Chad. Turns out, Chad doesn't want to talk about her feelings. He wants protein, peace, and no eye contact. After Chad finished his turn and logged out of the relationship like it was a free trial, she realized what she was about to lose. Now she's looking around like, wait, where's the stability, the security, the man who actually paid the Netflix account? And that's why she changed her mind. So props to this guy for sending her back to the streets. Gentlemen, once you hear another man in your woman's background like it's a Spotify ad, that's your cue to dip.